Trent Bray had his press conference yesterday, and he was asked about the special teams blunders.
He's still the coach, huh?
He is still there.
That's too bad.
Special teams coach, still there.
If they go 0-5, like, it has to end, right?
For Bray or the special teams coordinator?
Well, clearly the guy's
for
never
everybody
lose
included.
his job, the special teams coordinator.
Yeah.
But if Nebraska's going to lose in Ireland, barely beat FCS, and then lose and fire their legendary quarterback,
yeah, Scott Frost won a national title there, or half of a national title.
I'd have to look this up. So they started 4-1 last year, right?
Oregon State, I believe, started 4-1 last year,
and they
then
finished 5-7.
They
so
ended the
that's
season 1-6.
1-6,
in their last 7 games. The only win
so
was
they're
out of
1-8
nowhere
now.
against Washington.
They're 1-8 in their last 9.
Yes.
If they lose their next 3, they'll be 1-12 in their last 13.
Yes.
Excuse me?
What are we waiting for?
If they're 0-5, thank you for your service. I know you want this. I know you're passionate about it, but you ain't cutting it. Like, pull the plug, man.
Well, and if you start 0-5 too, I don't even think you circle on the road at App State as a win up like that. You could be 0-6, and then the Cougs.
I don't know anything about App State.
No clue.
Who am I going to pretend that? I love, by the way, that Beaver fan, because I listened to a live Beaver Twitter, what is that called?
Sure.
Spaces?
Spaces, yeah.
And, like, dude, I feel for people listening to, they're so broken and confused and like, man, how do we get out of this? And, oh, man, what do we do? And I feel for you. I genuinely do. I also heard, there's a stretch of schedule. And I'm like,
dude,
they just severely outplayed Fresno State and lost. Why are you acting like they're going to handle their business?
So this is what I wanted to get to.
Against every given team.
And this is, I'm not in the fan base. I can't even begin to relate to what you guys are going through right now. I saw this, by the way, on the special teams coordinator. Bray was asked yesterday about, what's going on there. Have you had any conversations? And Bray's answer was essentially, well, he's not the one out there playing. Which I'm like,
why take accountability?
Not what you want to hear. I saw Nimick he does a podcast with Souk, the West Coast Bias podcast, Andrew Nimick and Jason Sakanik. And he had a note on there where he talked about things that he's heard from in-state recruits, 2 of the top-ranked in-state Oregon recruits.
Yes, one of them is going to Utah. To give you a level of, like, how good the player is.
They're fine, but they're not. I mean, it's not Ndamukong Suh. They're good. They're good players. They're players that Oregon State should be absolutely aggressively going after.
Yes.
And 2 of them were verbally committed to Oregon State. Said, yes, I'm verbally committed. I'm ready to go. But like almost every other recruit across the country, you don't just stop the process after you verbally commit somewhere. Schools are still going to recruit you. Your recruiting profile can change. Mm-hmm. You're going to want to take other visits and just explore all of your options, right? And Oregon State, Nimick was telling the story that Oregon State has a policy that if you want to take a visit to another school, they essentially pull your scholarship. They say they want nothing to do with you. And then on top of that, when they had the conversations with the players about pulling the scholarship offer and being upset at them for taking another visit, they were like very contentious phone calls that essentially ended the relationship. And that's the one thing I saw.
Parents, by the way, retweeted him. So, like, if you want to question it, like the parents were retweeting it.
I saw some in the fan base, and you kind of alluded to this on the Spaces, and we can carry this over because we're already against it again. Damn it, Karen.
My bad.
Of Beaver fans who are like defending this, and I don't understand.
Oh, I didn't see the defending.
I saw a few of these like, well, why would we want to have the kid, come here if he wants to try other commitments or take other visits?
Literally every school and big time recruit does this.
And also,
literally everyone.
You're not in a position to be picky and choosy. Like you got to get anything that's willing to come your way. You should be open arms, desperate for. And I'm not saying bend over for any recruit, but like no matter what their demands are. So let's carry this over. There's some interesting back and forth between the fan base and how to feel. And there's differing reports coming out that I've seen about NIL money getting taken away from players to go towards Malik Murphy to pay for a quarterback. And then there was another one that there's some former players and alumni who wanted to set up an NIL collective essentially on their own for the basketball program. And the basketball program and university told them to pound sand because it's not incorporated with the damnation thing. So basically, we don't want your money, and they're turning down money.
Wait, what? I missed that one.
Yeah, so let's unpack a little bit of this.
That's also been a disaster.
Let's unpack a little bit more of this and just where we go from here. This is something that I butt my head with Blazer fans from time to time of like, and they're in very different spots. Don't get me wrong. The Blazers have not been relegated out of the NBA. So I grant you that. But there's this like constant nothing but everything's great. Everything's positive. Trust in them. They're all smart. They know what they're doing. And I just ask, like, why do we have any evidence to believe that? Why do you just blindly follow and support everything that your program does? And there weren't a ton of people that were supporting this yesterday. But I think when the situation that they're in right now, has the writing on the wall of everything needs to be torn down, not necessarily in terms of everybody getting fired, of like everything in your operation needs to be questioned. Every dollar that you're spending, every person that you've hired, every person in the athletic department, because the future of your program doesn't have to be on the same level as Oregon. It has to be better than the other teams that you're swimming in the group of 5 pond with. And so that's the mountain that you're trying to climb, and you're clearly not heading in that direction. Why is Fresno State better than you? Why is Air Force able to beat you 28-0? Like, you're going to get killed by Oregon. You're going to get killed probably this weekend by Texas Tech.
Yeah.
That's not who you're competing against in
It's
the future.
Fresno State. They're in your conference next year.
And they beat you because you
home.
couldn't snap a football. Like, losses, like I hope that there's more Beaver fans who after that are willing to question everything, including, and it's tough to do because we've all been there and we want to put our blinders on as fans of like, do you have the right head coach? He's a great defensive mind, but does he know what he's doing running a program?
Well, yeah, he has had really good moments as a D coordinator. I'm not going to even argue that, okay? As bad as the special teams blunders were, like, I'm sitting in my living room watching this game, having this bad feeling because I've seen this game a million times in my life.
They were horrible, by the way, in week 1, too. Punt coverage was terrible, and the opening drive of the game, you had too many men on the field.
I get it. His explanation is cut and dry as well. You know, he had a long 4th down. I'm sorry, bud. I'm sitting there going, I'd rather have Malik Murphy try 4th and 20 than you even attempt the field goal.
Yeah.
And then guess what? The snap wasn't the worst, but your kicker's so PTSD that the minute the ball looks even a little weird off the ground, it spooked him and he didn't kick it and he was short. So, like, it's even moments like that. Or how about the last drive? There is a minute to go in a game against Fresno State. Your head coach is coaching that side of the ball.
He's the defensive coordinator now.
They looked so pathetic, and they didn't cut off gaps. They had no block. Their assignments were wrong.
The rush
they
lanes,
couldn't
they lost them
tackle.
completely.
Their rush lanes are terrible. Like,
it took one play, and you're like, okay, that's an easy field goal.
So the one positive you would give me about the team is the area the coach is specifically coaching is the area that ultimately ended up failing you, even more so than the bad snaps and extra points.
Yeah.
You couldn't get off the field against the quarterback that threw for like $110.
And you still had, after all of the special teams blunders, you had a chance to win the game.
Because Malik Murphy and the offense actually were awesome when they didn't commit false start penalties. The only good thing you had was Ryan Gunderson's offense humming with Malik Murphy. Okay? Here's my follow-up. I'm with you in this, and I maybe I've said this before on the show a couple times. I will never understand or be in the same camp as fans and or media that everything is perfect and rosy
positive.
and it's running operationally. It's perfect.
If your team's winning championships and going undefeated, like, by all means, I'm not questioning anything that you do, but anything less than that,
dude, when you are not good or you're failing, everything should be hypercritical way more than it should be. I don't know, man. This team looks like they could be pretty good. A couple play. You're 0-2. I don't care what the stats tell me. You're 0-2. That's the stat I care about. Shouldn't lose at home to Fresno State in any regard ever. That should at least be your standard. So, like, I guess I would just ask Oregon State fan, what are you seeing about him as a head coach? Everybody's like, the special teams coach. Yeah, I mean, make a move there, I guess. What about the head coach should I be encouraged about?
Right.
What's the thing
What
you point
evidence
to?
can you point to?
Or your guard was number 1 in guard PFF ranking. Cool. All right.
Hog him up, Sikorsky.
It was him. Sikorsky had a great weekend.
He was hogging him up.
How many rush yards did they finish with?
Yeah, not enough.
So, like, that does nothing for me. So tell me what, in the sample size we've been given, a full season and now 2 games 0-2, what is the thing you'd point to? Because if it was another team in the same situation with the same makeup, everything's the same.
You would have the ability to look at it rationally.
You would say, that's not a good coach.
Right.
Or you'd go, I don't know about that coach, man. He's not very good. But here you go, yes, fire the special teams coach. Bray's got passion. Passion don't win football games, brother.
No, it didn't. Gary Anderson was pretty passionate. He got everybody riled up after winning that Civil War in 2016.
Go Beavers. How about that?
Yeah, and it didn't work out well. I mean, you're in a very tough situation. Who knows
your
what the future
athletic
looks
director
like.
is? I mean, has he said anything?
No, you
You're
haven't
2
heard
weeks
anything.
in. It's embarrassing. Your home environment's awful.
Well, it's also like it almost feels like a top-down.
It is a top
failure
down.
from your president all the way down to the peons in the athletic department of it. Just there isn't enough care, there isn't enough effort, there isn't enough innovation.
Well, I can tell you,
and you're standing like getting
Yeah.
players, and so all that stuff's not going to change. But like, there's still things that you can do. You don't just pack it up and go home.
No, but I can tell you what happened last year, and look, that's last year. You should say, look, you got to move on from it. And I tend to agree with it, but that's demoralizing for a lot of people. There's people in that athletic department that have been there for a long time. That was demoralizing for them.
Yes, it was.
They didn't ask for all that to
Nope.
happen, and then they got to operate. And it's like some of the people I know, they're not responsible for game day marketing promotions and how to make the environment better. But yeah, from athletic director down to head coach, it's just an S show. And I will never, I guess, understand the people that are not in that thinking. I know bad things have happened to you.
Yes.
I'm totally with you on that.
And it's unfair.
It shouldn't be this bad.
No.
With that schedule, that was you were favored in both games.
Yes.
So, like,
you can win 7 or 8 games this year, and that's not asking for too much. And you should have won this weekend. If you could snap a punt or catch a punt or
get a stop with a minute left.
Yeah. You win the game, and you're 1-1, and you're not feeling great. But 1-1's better than 0-2, man. We'll see how it goes the next couple of weeks. Really rough start.
I didn't see the basketball story, by the way. So they just said no to money.
Yeah, essentially,
That's great.
The way it was reported that I saw was that it was Gary Payton and I think it was Steve Johnson who reached out to the university and wanted to essentially set up their own thing of NIL money, NIL initiatives, and other future employment programs.
So two Beaver legends,
and the university. They didn't go through the damnation thing. My apologies. I think I misread that. They went straight to the university and to the athletic director, and they basically told him they wanted nothing to do with him. Nothing came of it.
Who had that, if you don't mind me asking? I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just curious.
It was our former intern who corroborated the report.
Mr. Netflix.
We were open to any and all ideas at Damnation, and Steve never reached out to do things with us directly, but he did with the school administration. I'll let you come to the conclusions on how that ended up. Any NIL support is good
that
support for
situation's a
Damnation.
disaster, too. They have to go international, and they can't win anything in the WCC.
So things are tough, but it shouldn't be this bad, I think, is the fair takeaway.
What is the point of
and
having
ask
a war
questions about
chest
everything
if you can't, make decisions financially?
or spend it?
Bray's buyout cannot be more than $10 million,
No,
right?
it cannot, Bob.